actually going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
Malibu and the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
MVP quarterback. And then the other quarterback we have is Derek Carr.
Everything happens to me. Zach Wilson getting hurt happens to me. Not getting let into Bar A happens to me. Going to the hospital after the Jets beat the Titans happened to me.
You have to think like that's not normal to alter what's always been.
Yeah.
What's always been is how we live.
Yep, I know who's going to take advantage of me.
Reading.
I sense that vibe with people now, and I'm not dealing with it. Moving forward, it's gonna be like a talk show. Vary on the guests. Like if Jim's on, we'll talk about life. Jimmy.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people, even
So why do you think people are allowed to stay in public office for over?
Here with your name behind it, hoping that
no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Doug Saraba Show, which is brought to you by Scut's Betting. Bet like Michael LaFleur. The NFL playoffs are right around the corner, and that is what we are discussing on tonight's episode. My New York Football Giants are back in the postseason, baby, and I want to get started with all the Daniel Jones haters. All the Daniel Jones haters. And it's honestly amazing because a lot of people were calling for Daniel Jones to no longer be the quarterback of the New York Giants. And they seem to forget it's basically the same situation, in my opinion, with Eli Manning. Now, remember in 2007, 2008, when the Giants defeated the New England Patriots. Remember that? But during that time, a lot of people were calling for Coughlin to be fired. And that was throughout his tenure as a New York Giants head coach. Even before they won the Super Bowl in 2011-2012, they were calling for him to be fired. They were calling for Eli Manning to be gone. Think about it. Think about that. Strahan retire. They were calling for him to retire. So it's kind of the same situation for me. Daniel Jones, past 4 years, didn't really have a legit head coach. Who did we really have? Pat Shurmur? Joe Judge? I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Brian Daboll and his coaching staff for helping Daniel Jones improve. But he didn't fumble the ball as much. He didn't throw an interception as much. But the point that I'm trying to get to is that if we gave up on Eli Manning so early, Eli Manning would not have won 2 Super Bowl MVPs or 2 Super Bowls with the New York Football Giants. If we gave up on Eli Manning, the perfect season might exist. The Manningham catch wouldn't exist. The Tyree catch wouldn't exist. So it has me thinking, why not give Daniel Jones a chance? And I think he proved it this year, that with a good coach and a good system that he could go somewhere. And he took them to the playoffs. A healthy Barkley helps. Yeah, an improved O-line helps. A good defense helps. But he didn't really fumble the ball. He didn't really commit the turnover. And the big difference for me was, it was more of the way he ran the ball than how he threw the ball. And that was the key factor for Danny Dimes this year, is how he ran the ball. And I always believe in the saying, a quarterback that runs the ball, a mobile quarterback that runs, is a huge threat to the National Football League. We see it with Patrick Mahomes. We see it with Josh Allen. We see it with Russell Wilson was a running quarterback. And Danny Jones is in that conversation. But, there's a group of fans that wanted to give up on him. And I believed in Danny Dimes since day one. I believed in him since day one. And I'm going to try and pull up the tweet that I have. Because it's something that makes me think, why did we give up on this guy so fast? Because he had a great year this year. He truly did. And moving forward, I think he is going to be the Giants' quarterback. He is going to be the guy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is Danny Dimes' team for the long run. And you could hate on it. You could send me an email. You could send me whatever you want to send. You don't support Danny Jones? Give me a call. Tell me how you feel. So I'm going to try and pull this up for you guys so you could see how I supported him since day one. So just give me a second so I can pull this up. Because I don't want to be the one where people came up to me and be like, "Oh, you just made that up." No, I always supported the guy. But there's a group of fans that didn't support the guy. And if I'm allowed to post this up, if it comes up. No, that's a different tweet. No, I can't post it up. But I do have it on my phone. And I said this on June 17th, 2019, in regards to Danny Jones. And if he wins us a Super Bowl, don't celebrate with us. If you can't support him now, don't support him later. And that's the reality of it. How many of you supported Danny Jones all throughout the tenure? How many? Not many. I supported the guy. I believe in the guy. And he's going to be the quarterback of the future. And I was watching the Carton show. Great show, by the way. Gotta love yourself some Craig Carton. And Craigie said, this is what Craigie said in regards to it. Without the two Super Bowls, without the two Super Bowl MVPs, Eli Manning was a regular season average quarterback. Think about it. I think his career win-loss record is 500, 179, 179. Many people discredit Eli's career. But because of those Super Bowls, Eli's a Hall of Famer in many people's eyes. So think about this for a moment. The same exact people that complain, or I'll put it this way, the same people that praise Eli are going to complain about Daniel Jones. When both of them, and I love Eli, both of them are average quarterbacks in the regular season. The difference with Eli is he has won 2 Super Bowls. Won 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl. That's the difference. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. Today we're discussing the NFL playoffs. Today is January 9th, 2023. So before we get into my Super Bowl bracket, what I want to do is I want to play a clip of my picks with Brandon Schwartz because we got a lot of teams correct, and we got teams that shouldn't have been there, like the Denver Broncos, my pick. But, that's the past. This is the present, so let's take a listen.
Surprisingly, people are going to think I'm nuts. They may hit me in my DM, email, whatever. They may call me up on the next Dougie and Espo for all we know. But I'm going to go with Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons.
Not a bad pick.
I think this is a team, and this is going to be I think the Buccaneers will defeat them easily. But I think that's possible. I think it's possible for the Falcons to go. Next one, we got the AFC, the last wild card spot. And a lot of people are going to be like, it's a shame that this team has to miss out. It's a shame that this team has to miss out because this team will get in. I see the Steelers being number 8. I see the Steelers just missing the postseason because you're going to have a team like the Patriots battling. You're going to have a team like the there's a lot of good teams that you can't really pick. But I have my eye on this team making the playoffs since the beginning. And you have Denver, you have the Ravens, you have the Dolphins, you have the Colts, you have the Bills, you got the Bengals. And to finish that up, this could be a Super Bowl matchup. You could see Aaron Rodgers go up against his former guy in Devontae Adams. So I have the Vegas Raiders finishing that up.
You got Vegas. That's a good one. All right, so my seventh pick, right? So, with the seventh pick, it's close because I'm going to go with either the Colts or the Denver Broncos. I think I got to go with the Colts because I think Matt Ryan is still a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Colts as the AFC.
So they're your division winner.
Those are my division winners for the AFC. NFC, it's a lot.
So hold on. I mean, just so people don't get confused. We got a division winner here in Buffalo, division winner here in the Chiefs. You got a division winner here in the Bengals, and a division winner in the Colts. And then your wild card teams are the Chargers, the Patriots, and the Dolphins.
Yeah. NFC, I got to go with you. I think the 49ers are still a very good team.
Yeah, they are.
I got to go with the 49ers. They've had a good postseason run in the last few years. So, yeah, go to 49ers as the NFC 7 seed.
Cool. All right. So you got wild card.
So looking through that, it's amazing how some of the teams that we predicted didn't go our way. Like, all right, so if we look at, all right, I had this right here. I had Denver being number 1. That clearly didn't go the way. Ravens number 2. Miami number 3. Colts number 4. Colts, what an embarrassing year that was for that organization. I don't think anyone expected that within the Indianapolis Colts. Bills, Bengals, and Vegas. And I think it's proven to us that Josh McDaniels is not an NFL head coach. He's not. Every team he's gone to, whether it was the Broncos or the Raiders, he's been absolute garbage. Like, what a year it's been in Vegas. Even Derek Carr, I love the guy, but he's got to go somewhere else. Maybe Green Bay, maybe San Fran, who knows. But I do see Rodgers going to Vegas if he does not retire. I see a transition in quarterbacks. I see Brady. I think Brady is going to end up in San Fran. That was his dream. So I see that happening. Then on the NFC side, I had the Packers, I had Tampa, I had LA, I had Washington, I had the Niners, Vikings, Falcons. And then Brandon for the AFC, he had Buffalo, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Dolphins, Bengals, Colts, Patriots. His NFC side, Buccaneers, Rams, Packers, Giants, Cardinals, Eagles, Niners. So, talk about a difference and a change within the organizations of Denver, LA, new coaches on both sides, possibly. We don't know what McVay's future. But we have much more to get to. I'm going to go over my bracket, and we got much more to get to. Lepore betting, we're going to go over best odds for the games, and we'll be right back right after this quick commercial break. The Doug Stravo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. We'll be right back. MVP quarterback. And then the other quarterback we have is Derek Carr.
Everything happens to me. Zach Wilson getting hurt happens to me. Not getting let into Bar A happens to me. Going to the hospital after the Jets beat the Titans happened to me.
Especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this.
Malibu and the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
feel like it's more than just Joe Biden though. Like it's just like people, even people.
So why do you think people are allowed to stay in public office for over?
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Doug Stravo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live. Stravo Broadcasting the Doug Stravo Show. This episode of the Doug Stravo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore is brought to you by our friends Nicole and Dave. Go Sports. All right, it is now time for my Super Bowl 57 bracket, which is going to be founded on playoffpredictors.com. It's my favorite website that I use for it. I've done it for every week picks with Brandon and John. So here we go. All right. All right, so let's start with Jacksonville and LA. Now, I want to go with the Chargers for my buddy Mike. May he rest in peace. You know, he's got to see his Chargers win the Super Bowl one day from heaven. You know, they had their opportunities in 06, 07, but they fell just short. Chargers, Jaguars, I think the Jaguars are going to win this game just because the experience they now have with Doug Peterson. You know, they were 3-14. A bit of a joke with Urban Meyer. You know, we all thought Trevor Lawrence is going to be this bust. I wasn't overreacting. But you had those fans that thought that. And he turned this team around. And last time the Jaguars were in the playoffs, the fans showed up. They went to the conference championship, lost to the Patriots. But I think Trevor Lawrence has more experience compared to Justin Herbert. And I think, I know the NFL is different, but he's won a lot of games at the college level. So I think this is going to be a huge opportunity for Trevor Lawrence. So they're going to win that game. So if we look at the Ravens this year, they've been inconsistent. They've truly been an inconsistent football team. I look at them as like a joke, honestly. When Jackson doesn't play, when he does play, so it's just like hard to pick the Ravens. And the Bengals, they have the best quarterback in the National Football League within Joey Burrow. Many of you who know me know I love Joey Burrow. And I picked them last year to go to the Super Bowl. I think I'm going to pick them again this year, and they finally win it. So for this, I'm going with the Bengals just because they have the best quarterback in the league, best receiver in the league with Jamar Chase. Buffalo and Miami. This is interesting because Miami, I am not sure who their quarterback is even going to be. I'm not sure about that. And within Buffalo, you know, they got all that emotion with Damar Hamlin. He's been discharged from the hospital. So I see them going on a run. But they've really been inconsistent. You know, the Vikings came back against them. They lost these key games that they should have won. Who did they lose to? There was a game I thought they should have won. Yeah, they lost to the Jets. That was the game. I don't think they should have lost to the Jets. All right, how do I get back? So I just think because of that, it's going to be tough to tell. It's going to be tough to see who wins. So because of that, I see them winning this round, but I don't know how far they can go just because they've been inconsistent. The same thing goes with the Vikings. But every AFC home team is going to win that game. Cowboys versus Buccaneers. Both teams have been inconsistent. I see the Buccaneers going on a run with Tom Brady. Once he gets hot, he gets hot. But I just think the Cowboys are going to bounce back, and they're going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like Seattle over San Francisco just because they don't have the experience with the quarterback position when it comes to the playoffs. I was going to, if the Packers won, I was going to go with Packers over the Niners. But I'm also going with the Seahawks over the Niners. I think this is going to be a huge upset. I like the Seahawks. I like Pete Carroll. I like Geno. And Bronco fans are going to be like, oh, we should have got Geno. So I talked about how the Buffalo Bills have been a little bit inconsistent, but the Minnesota Vikings have been an inconsistent football team all year long. And I think the Giants are going to be the better team come this Sunday. I truly believe it. Just because you don't know what you're going to get with Kirk Cousins, and you don't know what you're going to get with this Vikings team. So you look at the Buffalo Bills game. That was an inconsistent game. And I'm going with the Giants in this because I think they're going to be under the radar. No one's going to give them a shot like 07, 08, 11, 12. So for me, it's all about momentum, and the Giants have the momentum right now. I think the Giants are going to win this game. I truly do. And you look at the game on Christmas Eve, all we did was lose by a field goal. If we got the touchdowns, we could have won on Christmas Eve. Bengals, Buffalo, divisional round, here we come. Bengals and Buffalo is going to be an interesting game. But like I said, they become, for some reason, they can't get the job done in the playoffs. I think Buffalo is going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's my personal thought. But on this bracket, I just think the way I have it set up is that it's going to be one of those surprise Super Bowl matchups. So I don't think Buffalo has what it takes. I think they have what it takes, but I like Joey Burrow so much better than Josh Allen. I truly do. And remember, they didn't get a chance to finish out that game. So this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. But I think Cincy is going to come out on top. I really do. Joey Burrow, that's why I'm picking them. Because I think Joey Burrow has what it takes to go far with this team. And he said it smart the other day. My whole career is my window. You know, he believes he'll have a shot to win every single year. Kansas City, Jacksonville. The storybook run ends. Kansas City is just a better team with Patrick Mahomes. Think about it. Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence. Patrick Mahomes. He's going to run all over that defense, and this team is going to go far. So you'll see a rematch of Cincinnati and Kansas City. Seattle versus Philly. I like Seattle. I truly do. I truly do. I think Seattle has what it takes to go far. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll. That's all you need. The Eagles have been slowing down the last few games. It's a fact. So I do not see the Giants losing 3 in a row to the Dallas Cowboys this season. I truly believe the New York Giants can beat the Dallas Cowboys. I truly believe it. Seahawks, Giants. In my heart, I want the New York Giants to win. In my heart, I think the Cincinnati Bengals will defeat the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. But based on this bracket, Kansas City is going to lose again to the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Seattle Seahawks will defeat the Giants in MetLife Stadium and advance to the Super Bowl. So that is my Super Bowl matchup. Cincinnati the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Seahawks. Sorry, I'm typing and talking at the same time. In Super Bowl 57. And the Bengals are going to win. The Bengals win this one 24-21. Joe Burrow wins MVP. So that is my Super Bowl prediction. It's going to be back-to-back AFC championships for the Bengals, and the Seahawks win. The Seahawks return to the Super Bowl for the first time since that run. So those are going to be your final 4 teams: Chiefs, Bengals, Seahawks, Giants. And the Bengals will defeat the Seahawks. And in my mind, the Bengals will defeat the Giants. So that's your playoff matchups in the divisional round: Chiefs, Jaguars, Bills, Bengals, Eagles, Seahawks, Cowboys, Giants. This is my bracket. But I do personally believe the Bills are going to go on a run. And DeMar Hamlin will be in the building at Arizona when they play in the Super Bowl. But anything could happen. I think it could be Buffalo and Tampa. That's why I see that happening. Again, if you're just joining us, this is the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and it will be time for Lepore betting, and we give our picks for the best bet for wild card games. We'll be right back.
Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
The Cleveland Guardians, they basically ran away with that division.
Girls
They
all
are
over
now-
Hawaii. It's Hawaii, obviously.
Oh, of course.
There's gonna be some good-looking girls.
He would wear McKinnon, and then he would
Are better than every other American League team.
Yeah, but this is my show. MVP quarterback, and then the other quarterback.
No matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.
Betting. It was named after you because you are probably known for losing a lot of bets, especially when it comes to the horse racing.
My lightning 5 picks. These are the ones I like. I mean, I love them. In my picks, you'll hear them later on.
Yeah.
That is my best bet.
You'll hear it in Stutz Betting.
Yes, that is my best bet.
All right, you're listening to the Doug Saravo Show. You can follow us on all your podcast applications, YouTube and Facebook Live, where I'm broadcasting the Doug Saravo Show. The Doug Saravo Show is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. Now it's time for my favorite segment, which is in memory of our friend Mike Lepore Betting, and it's sponsored by the JMB Podcast. All right, so these are our best bets for Wild Card Weekend. All right. Let's see what we got. All right, Wild Card Weekend. Over, under. If I were to pick over, under, I would go for the under with the Minnesota Viking and Giant game. Over, under, Dallas Cowboy Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, I would go with the under. And my last over, under, 47.5, Chargers Jaguars. Now the money lines, I do like the plus 425 of the Seattle Seahawks over the San Francisco 49ers. I think if you want to take a chance, plus 250 Ravens. And future bets, if you were to bet for the Super Bowl today, I like the Bengals at plus 800. I like the Buccaneers at plus 2,800. And honestly, I like the Giants at plus 5,000. I think those are your best bets. Now, if you're going to gamble, gamble responsible. Don't let it affect your life or someone else's life. And most importantly, enjoy the games. Whether you're with your friends, your family, at a bar, whatever it may be. Enjoy Wild Card Weekend. This is the best time of year besides the World Series and Major League Baseball postseason. And can't forget about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Can't forget about that. Again, this is the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting. Bet like Michael Lepore. And this episode of the Doug Strabo Show is brought to you by our good friends. This episode of the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by Stutz Betting, Bet like Michael Lepore, is brought to you by our friends Nicole and Dave, Go Sports. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next time. Remember, Danny Jones is the Giants' future quarterback. Love it or hate it. See you guys next time.
This episode was brought to you by Nicole and Dave, Go Sports. For all your latest information surrounding the world of sports, talk to Dave.
Especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
Malibu and diner. These leaders of these countries.